Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have a
I didn't even bring my I didn't realize it'd be girl. I should have.
I was really,
Yeah, so it'll be Kimberly and all those. Yeah, people are talking. Oh, there's John.
did he bring the maker guy? Oh, maybe so.
Come join us, sweetie.
Danny Wayne. That's our shepherd. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, here and there's seats over here. Oh, a Frias. Okay. I don't see the dinner right here.
Yeah, he's
Oh, no, we're not.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, Gal. How are you? Good to see you. They are the cutest. Look at that little daisy. I am going to take her home with me.
That's the one I walked in with. I love it.
She's so cute. Oh my gosh. It reminds me of my daughter first started and they were daisies. I don't think she was ever that small as a daisy.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, good
Using
morning.
my camp voice. Welcome to an exciting day for the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada. I'm Linda Bridges, the Chief Communications Officer. Before today's announcement, I'd like to recognize some special attendees that we have with us today. The President of our Board of Directors, Patricia Lee. In addition to our current President, we are also fortunate to have several former board presidents in attendance today. Thank you, presidents, for your leadership and your commitment to the Girl Scout movement. We also welcome our distinguished dessert before dinner honorees, the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada Membership Advisory Committee, and the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada Properties Task Group. Our honorees and committee and task group members share in our vision to introduce all girls in Southern Nevada to our great Girl Scout movement. This morning, we also welcome new friends and partners from Frias Transportation Management. Thank you so much for coming. And last, but never least, we welcome our future female leaders, our Girl Scouts in attendance today. At the conclusion of today's announcement, we will have time for a brief press Q&A. Thank you all for coming. If you haven't already, please, after the announcement, enjoy some refreshments of cookies, tea, and coffee. It is now my honor to introduce the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada CEO and proud Girl Scout alumna, Kimberly Trueba.
Today we enter a new frontier for all girls in Southern Nevada and beyond. This is a moment in our movement to be proud and to celebrate. We are excited to announce that a record-breaking donation of $9 million has been gifted to the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada from the Charles and Phyllis M. Frias Charitable Trust. This is the largest known private donation made to any of the 112 Girl Scout councils, and we are honored to be the recipient of such a generous gift. The Charles and Phyllis M. Frias Charitable Trust has donated 70 acres of personal property and acreage in rural Lincoln County, located 90 miles north of Las Vegas. Here to my right are many of the photos from that area and of the land that we have been receiving. Included in the donation is the current Cowboys Dream Bed and Breakfast, the Windmill Ridge Restaurant and Lodging, and additional undeveloped acreage. With this donation, we will be able to give our girls the opportunity to learn and grow through an array of outdoor activities. Additionally, this will allow us to continue the legacy of Phyllis and Charles Frias and be a champion for young women. Generations of Girl Scouts will know their story, feel their frontier spirit, and be empowered to make our community and our world a better place. This gift could only have happened thanks to visionaries like Phyllis and Charles Frias. I remember my camping experiences in Illinois and Kansas fondly. I remember the Grand Lodge building where many traditions were learned, and ceremonial style in which we ate and we cleaned up. From the moment I stepped foot on this property in Alamo, with tears, I envisioned the young girls looking up the main building as I once did. I am thrilled to be leading the efforts to transform the already magical place into a destination for girls. We will be busy in the coming months dreaming of the future and building partnerships and with additional donors. Helping to us to invest in our future female leaders is an investment in Nevada's future.
Yes.
The past 6 weeks has been exciting to say the least, and I would like to recognize the Properties Task Group who have worked tirelessly, including Dick Rizzo, Nancy Becker, Jess Patterson, Evan D'Angelo, Amy Sidney, Maren Perry and Bill Curran with Ballard Spar, our attorneys, Robin Mancini, Jean Curran, and Michael Weaver. I'd like to recognize all those who nurtured the relationship with the trustees, including Jean Curran, Gail Pohl, Peggy Slessner, and Jeanette Schneider.
Woo!
And last but not least, a big thank you to John Mowbray and Jack Hannafin for believing in us and offering us this wonderful gift. It is my honor to introduce one of the kindest and generous men I know, John Mowbray.
Woo!
Thank you, Kimberly. How many here, by a raise of hand, have been touched by scouting? Very good. Phyllis and Charlie are here with us in spirit today, much like they were almost 60 years ago when they first came to Southern Nevada. What was intended to be a short trip by Phyllis to visit a sister who had recently moved here in 1958 turned into a half a century journey to help build legacies that few, if any, will ever match in the transportation industry or in charity. As the trustees of the Charles and Phyllis M. Frias Charitable Trust, Jack Hannafin. Jack, would you please stand? We are pleased to announce the inaugural $9 million distributions to the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada. The Frias' story is one remarkable for the ages. It has a special place in Americana, and more importantly, for here in Southern Nevada. When Phyllis' husband arrived in May of 1958 to take his bride back to San Antonio, something about Las Vegas caught their fancy and caused them to pause and ponder their fate. But let's go back to 1958, where we're standing here right now. No Interstate 15, population base of under 100,000. Phyllis took a bus out here from San Antonio, paralleling the old Route 66, came through over the dam, which was called Boulder at the time, into town, and had a short stay here. She thought it might be a few weeks. That was in February. She began to wonder, what, my husband's back in San Antonio. Maybe he's lost interest in our marriage. Maybe it's on the rocks. So now it's May, and so she decides she's going to get a job out here and work as a change girl in downtown Las Vegas. There was no Strip at the time. There was the old El Rancho, which was burned down in 1961, but there was no Caesar's Palace, no Bellagio, any of those properties. So she got a job as a change girl on Fremont Street. Always industrious. The Friases were known for one motto: the harder you work, the luckier you get. So when Charlie came out in May of 1958, he intended to gas up the car and head back to San Antonio to the safety of friends and family. But that morning, something caught his eye, and he asked his bride, "Babe, you want to come back to Texas with me, or do you want to stay here with your sister?" She looked up at him and said, "Charlie Frias, I'm going wherever you're going." And he said, "Well, what do you think about staying here?" Now, he had a secure job back in San Antonio working as a government contractor for the air base there. And he said, "You know, I don't know, we've got to make up our minds here, because if I'm going back, we've got to get on the road here and go back on the old Route 66. So in true Las Vegas tradition, they decided to set their fate with a flip of a coin. Charlie reached in his pocket, pulled out a $50 and flipped it. Heads we go, tails we stay. For the fate of many generations of Southern Nevadans to come, luck was on their side that day.
Yes.
It landed tail side up. And that's why we're here today. I brought a special memento that I wanted to share with you today.
Nice catch.
And that is, these are the boots and shoes that Charlie and Phyllis Frias wore on that momentous day at the flip of the coin. They've been bronze for posterity. And I wanted to share that with the group. Thank you. So now they decided to make Las Vegas their home. They decided, Charlie went out, got a job at Nellis Air Force Base, and started working in the same capacity he did in San Antonio. But he was industrious, he's ambitious. They literally started out with just nothing more than the clothes on their back and those shoes and as boots. So about 1961, Charlie figured, I've got to make a game-changing move. I'm going to join a union. And he went down to the union hall. Very first day, the steward came in and said, "I need a taxi driver today." Charlie raised his hand and said, "I'm your man." So he joined Union Cab, a company with under 20 employees and 5 cabs out of North Las Vegas. The owner was an absentee owner from Ohio, Mrs. Keckler. Charlie took command of the situation. He promoted himself as the shop foreman without her knowing it. But that was good, because one day one of the other drivers pulled 4 brand new tires off the rack to take home to put on his own vehicle. And he confronted him and said, "You put those back." And he got challenged. By who? By Charlie Frias. I'm the shop manager here. Well, Mrs. Keckler found out about that and gained confidence. At the same time, the taxi cab business back in the day was all cash. And Mrs. Keckler needed someone she could trust to count the cash and do the booking. So Phyllis volunteered to do that bookkeeping. A bookkeeping that she would do for the next 50 plus years of her career. One thing led to another. The town started to grow. They started to grow with the town by providing safe and efficient transportation experiences. Charlie was instrumental in the foundation of the Nevada Taxi Cab Authority. He was a leader in industry. But that's not all. He was also generous. And I want to give you a quote that best defines the Frias legacy. Charlie died in October 2006, and then Phyllis wrote a memo to him called Frias for Love. And here's a quote from that memoir. God gave us the tools and we did the best to use them wisely. As great a businessman as Charlie was, I think what stood out as some of his best achievements was the way Charlie would give back to the community. We love our town and still do. We're proud of how far it's come and honored to be a part of its history. Now, after Phyllis passed away in October 31 of 2016, almost 10 years to the month of Charlie's passing, the Charles and Phyllis M. Frias Charitable Trust was established to continue that legacy. A legacy that began back in the 1960s with gifts to students, schools in Lincoln County and Clark County by way of donations of school buses, trips to Washington, D.C. There was a school named in their honor in 2003, and every fifth grade class that matriculated from Frias Elementary received an all-day field trip to Disneyland and other gifts from Phyllis Frias in honor of her late husband, Charlie. So we're here today to continue that legacy for the benefit of youth, not just in Clark and Lincoln County, but Nye and Esmeralda too, which is one of the reasons it was a perfect fit for the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada. During an extensive discernment process over the last year, the trustees determined that no program has a better history of service to the girls in Southern Nevada than its inaugural recipient. While Phyllis and Charlie's philanthropic focus during their lifetimes benefit the youth here in Clark County, their legacy will now expand to all of Southern Nevada. With that, I'd like to take a moment, pause in their memory, but more importantly, look forward to the day when these girls can benefit, expand their horizons with resources that were not currently available. I can't wait for the first time when you're up there in your wagons, in the fields, and you get up in the night, look at this night sky, start pondering the wonders of our universe. And then with the bed and breakfast, it'll be a perfect forum to reflect on the residents of the Frias' generosity during their lifetimes when you go take your STEAM programs, science, technology, education, arts, and math. There's no better program to supplement a child's education than the Scouting program. No one does it better in Southern Nevada for the girls, the Girl Scouts of Southern Nevada. Thank you. Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the key to the new frontier.
Yes. That must be Dad.
Thank you.
He looks kind of buff.
Careful. Thank you. I know our legacy, all of the Frias team. Before I leave the stage here, I'd like to recognize our Frias team. Would you please stand up? I also like Jeanette Snyder. Will you come down here? Jeanette is with U.S. Trust Philanthropic Services. She's been an invaluable aid on putting this marriage together here. Jeanette, thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette.
And I believe we have some bankers at Nevada State Bank here with us. They're also partners with the transportation company. I want to thank them for their assistance over the years. Thank you.
much for all being here. Just come up here and take a look at some of the photos if you haven't. Take some photographs because in the future we'll be revealing some wonderful, exciting future opportunities for this lovely, lovely gift. And again, thank you very much for all that were involved in making this happen.